my name is Max Stein, and I love video games.
I'm the Megabuck. I really love video games.
And my name is Raph. I also love video games.
And welcome to the Game Treasure Podcast, where we discuss treasured video games of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Warning, the Game Treasure Podcast is not for children or anyone with a brain, for that matter. Hello, dear listener and dear watcher. Thank you for joining us either once again or for the first time for another episode of the Game Treasure Podcast. This week, we have another hot Steam grab bag for you. We have a collection. I think we've each got a couple games that are pretty dang new on Steam. So we checked them out so that you don't have to. Or maybe you do. More on that later. But before we get to that, we have to start our episode off as we always do, which is by having the Megabuck and RetroGameTreasure.com send us back in time with this week's Retro Zone Buck.
Let's go back in time.
Retro Zone.
That felt like either Righteous Hero or Surfer.
It's a little bit metal.
I couldn't tell.
Okay.
I'm talking about a forgotten gem for the Sega Genesis by Capcom, actually. Originally titled arcade game called Lost Worlds. I'm talking about Forgotten Worlds for the Sega Genesis.
By Capcom, you say?
It is by Capcom. That actually surprised me too. I didn't know that, even though I played it some.
Forgotten
Worlds.
Worlds.
What's all this then?
It's a shmup. A lot. It reminds me a lot of Legendary Wings, actually. At least the inside levels of Legendary Wings. Set in the 29th century, an evil god known as BIOS, not the one in your computer, has destroyed most of the Earth, turning into a desolate wasteland known as the Dust World. This is weird. Two nameless super soldiers are created by the people to defeat BIOS and the 8 evil gods who serve him.
By the people. You and me.
Yeah.
Collectively, we all had sex, and we've made 2 powerful warriors.
Blue guy and red guy.
Yes.
I think
their
that's
guns
their
are
canon
massive,
names
as
also.
were
When
our
one
wieners
blue
when
man
we
and
all
one red
made
man
love.
falls in love, what's born is
That's fine.
super soldier.
The poster very famously says, "I'll finish you today for sure," on it, which I'm not sure if that means like us going to the arcade and actually beating it finally, or them killing the evil gods that this says they were created for. I don't know.
Or them finally finishing making all that sex so they could make their chosen warriors.
sex.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a neat little shoot 'em up, 2-player shoot 'em up. There's a currency you get in the game. You can buy stuff in between levels at the shops to get different power up items and whatnot. To 9 different stages with the different bosses. Players lose if their vitality gauge runs out, but we given a chance to continue. It's a little
Why
Felt
isn't
like a
this
little
guy
health
in
bar
Marvel
version.
vs. Capcom? Bring
I
back
know.
Red Guy from Forgotten Worlds.
which
Yeah,
is
for
funny
real.
because this is one of the first CPS 1 games. CPS 1 game, the System 1 games, which evolved later on until the other CPS 2 and 3. So other games like this, Captain Commando, Final Fight, Knights of the Round, all those games were on the same arcade chipset as this one.
Oh, it's a chipset. That's what CP...
Yeah, Capcom. It's Capcom. What was the P? Capcom Play System, and this was for the first one, which was later called CPS 1 because there was a 2 and a 3. I believe Street Fighter 3 Third Strike is a CPS 3 game, and so the evolution of the same architecture.
Wasn't this like them wanting to get rid of some of these? The reason why they made like the Alpha series, I think they kind of were trying to like get rid of some of the ones that they had lying around or something like that.
Oh, the boards. I don't know why
I
they made
believe so.
many.
Yeah,
I've
one
never
of
heard
their
that. That's
one of
funny.
their games that they made, one of those Street Fighter games was, but they wanted to just kind of get rid of them.
Double Impact maybe.
Wow.
They're and then famous CPS 2 games like the Dungeons and Dragons beat 'em ups. You know, those are CPS 2 games.
Okay.
Puzzle Fighter is a CPS 2 game. So,
So that
this
has
is the
everything
Genesis version.
Everything
Cool.
to do with how it feels, I guess, essentially, right? That's almost like the generations. You could directly correlate the different boards to how these Capcom games
If
evolved
you
in their
compare them
feeling.
all, it's like, oh, the sounds, it's sad. They sound similar. The art direction is similar with the pixels and everything. Yeah, it was made in house by them. So Cadillacs and Dinosaurs was on this chipset.
Badass game. So one more time with the name. I'm sorry.
This is Forgotten Worlds.
Forgotten Worlds. So
Yeah.
as far as this is a shmup for the Sega Genesis.
Yep, and probably
no
sci-fi
mature
too.
or anything.
You know,
Oh yeah,
sci-fi.
sci-fi.
No, it's not really. No, it's
Yeah.
graphics aren't quite good enough there to.
You don't
scare
watch
the
them
children.
make the soldier.
by the people.
Made by the people's
I want a
judgment.
game about that.
Yeah.
Just that.
It's like
The people.
RoboCop, but with
Robocock.
sex. Yeah.
Oh my.
All right. So very nice. Hey, go to www. Did I say 4 W's there? RetroGameTreasure.com today. Start your subscription. You too can get a copy of this hidden Capcom Sega Genesis jam. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we are going to talk about some games that we have been playing on Steam. See you on the other side. Okay, gentlemen, I don't have my towel nearby, but I'm going to go ahead and hit that Steam, hit that music. Don't we all love our computers? Sometimes I'll turn off the lights and then turn on some RGB HMI lighting in the background and just play a game that I paid $4 for 6, 8, 10 hours in the middle of the night. Sometimes it's just different versions of solitaire.
Oh,
That's right. We're taking a hot Steam today. The mini segment, I guess. I don't know this is a recurring episode that we have, but we check out stuff that's come out within the past couple months on Steam, and try to dig it up for you so that we can let you know if you want to play some of this shit. Anyhow, I digress. I'm gonna go first. So I like Steam, and Steam knows me. So when Steam suggests stuff to me, I will listen. And sometimes it has a lot of power over me. Because this week, Steam suggested not one, but 2 different games based on solitaire to me. And I said yes to both of them.
Because you played a bazillion hours of Balatro, here's some knockoff Balatro.
It's true. Buck did say that before we started recording, and I was like, it literally down to like the clicky clacks of the cards being laid down, and like the attempt to emulate everything about Balatro that is good, which is like all the ticky tack of all of it. It's so funny. I've seen so many other ones on Steam as well. Like I saw one that was fucking roulette, but it was like, oh, you got to pick cards that make you roulette better, and like when I was like, they're Balatroing everything.
I think this guy knew that he was creating a subgenre when he made this game.
The subgenre is like casino games, but not boring.
Roguelike casino games.
Yeah, right. Roguelike casino games. Yes, right.
So, I played 2 games literally based on solitaire. The first one I'm going to talk about is developed by Tributary Games and published by Pantaloon. It's called Occlude. It came out July 10th of this year.
Okay.
So I got sold by this game's trailer because there is a underlying like plot that is basically there is a magical like / cursed ? Game of solitaire that is like making its rounds through history, and that's what you're playing.
That's
and so
a really cool like idea
pretty
for a
cool.
movie.
Right. Yeah.
And so it was like I guess Jumanji or The Monkey's Paw or whatever.
Right, something like that.
so-
The Ring,
Right,
it's the VHS
Yes.
tape, right?
Yeah. there
And
you
so
go, yeah.
before you play each round of solitaire, there's like a very small section of like storyline that jumps around throughout history, and it's usually revolves around like someone that either like something bad has happened to them or they did something bad, and supposedly this game of solitaire that you're playing has the ability to like change time and like change the events of time or something. Like one of the things that you get is like, I woke up and my hands had so much blood on them. Uh-oh, what have I done? Oh, I heard about this game that changes your fate. And it's this solitaire that you're playing.
They say so much, but is it any good?
So I know. I love Clerks. I saw that trailer and I was just like, damn. the fucking inner inscription in me and the inner fucking Balatro in me like really actually wants to fiddle with this. So I bought it. It was, I think, on sale for like $7. So not bad at all. So yeah, you're not playing a game of solitaire. You're doing a ritual, which gives it an excuse to have extra rules beyond normal solitaire, basically. Because
now it makes sense.
Normally in solitaire, which I haven't played in a long time, you have those like top stacks and you're trying to lay all the cards in ascending order. At least that's how I learned solitaire, where you got to get the aces first, then the 2, and then the 3 of all the suits or whatever. In this game, you have the same thing, except you have 2 piles for the suits, and you can count in both directions. So you can lay in the ace 2, 3 up on this side, or the king down on the other, like, turn-in pile, quote-unquote. So you're still, like, taking cards, moving them to a different place so you can pick up the cards underneath them to put them in this pile. But it has this cool other mechanic that Solitaire doesn't normally have, where it has these 4 blank spaces on top where you can, like, park a card for a moment. So it's a lot easier than like normal Solitaire, and also it had like you can lay cards that are like either one below or one above numerically on top of one another, and regardless of their suit. So it's just like as long as the numbers are either one above or one below the other number that you're laying it on, you can play. So it's just like a pretty easy version of Solitaire. The catch comes here, which is that every like what's
like
the word
round?
I'm looking for? Like it's every like mission. It's not.
Okay.
They're like different. Like there's like 7 puzzles, right? And they're all like have this backstory part and then this prologue part. So I don't know what you'd call these 7 chapters, I guess, of Solitaire.
Chapters of
Have different win states, and they don't tell you what they are. And the only way you can figure out what they are is that at the top of the screen there are these 4 golden coins. And you can win the game of Solitaire with you having just one of them, but you get a better prologue ending. What's the one that comes at the end? Is that the prologue, right?
An epilogue.
An epilogue.
Yeah.
You get a better epilogue ending if you get more coins. Like your guy will be like, "Oh, it worked. I didn't murder that guy." But if you only get like 1 coin, they'll be like, "Oh fuck, I murdered a dog instead," or whatever. And so the only way you can know like what the win state is by doing like almost like testing as to like it usually revolves what cards they want to be at the top of the stack of the turn-in cards, like on the left-hand side where you're turning in all the cards in their suits, like by numerical order. So it'll want specific cards on the top of that stack, which implies that you have to, first of all, find out which ones they are, and then secondly, like if you figure out like, oh, it wants the 3 to be on top. So now I have to reverse engineer this pile and go from the top down because I can't play anything above the 3 because the 3 needs to be on top. That probably doesn't make a lot of sense, but if you played it, you'd be like, oh, okay, I get what you're saying. My point is, it was kind of cool that you're like every round you're going, all right, so what are the cards that I'm looking for and where does it want them to be? That's pretty much a synopsis of what you just do that over and over again, testing these fail states. If you get all 4 coins, you also get like a relic, quote unquote, which is just more lore. It's like I literally got one that was like a mannequin's hand, and then you read it and it says something about some bullshit or whatever. Doesn't matter. My point was I was like, you know, this is pretty fun, and it's a different version of Solitaire, and you know what? I like it. So include. Cool. But then I was also introduced by Steam. After I played that, it was like, you like that, bitch? How about this, bitch? And it introduced me to a game called A Solitaire Mystery.
Why do I gotta be a bitch?
Which is developed and published by Hempulu Oi in July 9th in 2025. This is the people that made Baba Is You. Yes,
okay.
which is that top-down game where you literally have words on the board, and they like when you line them up, they'll change the logic and gameplay of the game. So it'd be like Baba is you, and then you change it like Baba is rock, and then the character that's Baba will turn into a rock, like or something like this. You know what I mean? So they made a game called A Solitaire Mystery, and technically there's credits for a person named
Hempuli, which is Hempuli Oy is the development publisher, and then 2 other people, Hazelstorm and Nexitar. Obviously,
Okay.
these are their pen names. Anyhow,
Something.
so this, instead of being one version of Solitaire with a bunch of hidden win states like that first game I was explaining, this is just 30 versions of Solitaire.
I did read the synopsis
Whoa,
on this one, and I was
okay.
like, no, thank you.
Holy shit.
All at once.
This game is basically UFO 50, but for just Solitaire.
What the fuck?
And the rules to
Wow.
each game of Solitaire are so A, different, and B, usually lengthy that you would need a UFO 50's amount of time to play them all, bro. Like, there, just to name some, there is the first one, the normal one is just called Tap Solitaire, which is like normal Solitaire, except you can tap any card on a row
Like Magic
to
the
then
Gathering
basically make it
style,
like a
or-
wild space so that you can basically start another stack there. There's one called Baba is Solitaire, which takes the Baba is you thing and puts it in Solitaire because some of the cards have words on them. And when you stack them, it will change it to like Baba is Hearts. And Baba is normally representative of the club cards. There's one called Eldritch Invasion Solitaire, in which some
now we're
of
talking.
the cards
You got my attention.
above some of the cards above 8, like basically 8 through King, are monsters that you have to uncover while you're playing Solitaire, and then you put them in a pile, and then you have to take 2 other cards in your Solitaire pile that match up to that card's attack power exactly. And then when you put them next to that monster, it wipes all 3 of them off the board, because obviously the way to win Solitaire is get all the cards off the board. There's one called Transmutation, where it's like Solitaire, but then there's a board in the corner where you can put 2 cards and add them together to make a different, or obviously you add their numbers together, but then you also make them into a combination suit, because some of the Solitaires are involved there. There's one that's binary Solitaire, where it's only 0s and 1s, and you have to use binary numbers to make a descending
gosh.
order of
What?
0s and
Do you have
1s.
to know binary to
Obviously.
Wow.
Obviously. At least
So-
0 through 13.
Did you?
Yeah, my favorite one is the one
Oh,
where
sorry.
you're laying every single card is laid out in front of you, and they also all have a corresponding circuit board, I don't know, connection, like the little river, the little
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? And there's the 4 kings are in the corners of the board, and they shoot like electricity into the board, and they power the cards when their channels line up, and you can only move cards that are powered. And it's that what I just said is not even 1/3 of the Solitaire games in here, bro. There is a murder mystery Solitaire in here.
That's cool.
Where you're trying to figure out who killed a given face card based off a bunch of a series of like logic puzzles and shit.
So how many of these did you get to play? Like, how many of these did you get to play a couple rounds of? I'm
I
curious.
touched all of them just
Wow.
to be like certain, which was very hard because some of them are absolutely bonkers. Like there's
Yeah.
one that just uses only like the Greek symbols for the planets instead of numbers and ranks, and you're like using them to like balance out this literally the galaxy's like
gosh.
solar rotation. Dude, it's crazy.
I was gonna say,
It's crazy.
That
how
one
many of
sounds
them?
awesome
so how,
though. Like
how
this
many of them
actually-
like where you're like, wow, this is a really like cool just card game. Forget about it being solitaire.
I would say my favorite, a handful of them, because I really like the circuit board one. Honestly, the regular taps one was cool. The murder mystery one was cool but very confusing, so I couldn't really get into it.
I guess
like,
in my head, just like hearing it, I'm going, I bet a handful of these are fun, and the rest are like, eh.
Yeah, I'm sure
some
that
of
there's a
them
lot of
are-
novelty to like. Yeah, it's like, oh, these look really cool and they're exciting, but after a few minutes of play, you realize that some of them maybe aren't quite so good. But
some of
yeah.
them have that literally written word for word, almost exactly as you just said it in their description, because
Really?
they all have a little blip about what they are before you select any one of them. And there's one where the only numbers present are 1 and 2, and instead of all the numbers being lined up, you stack them to add their values to one another. And that one, it literally says, like, this one will probably be fun once or twice. There was, what did that? Oh, I think one of my favorite ones was, it's just called 52 Pickup Solitaire. And instead of all the cards being in piles, they're just in one giant pile. And so as you don't pick them up and see what's underneath, like you're kind of like, you'll pick up one and sometimes it will have like 3 cards under it that you get to now fuck with. And then some of them you'll have to uncover like 2 or 3 before you can even get access to one other one.
It's an interactive screensaver.
It's really, really, really cool. And it made me be like, if you really liked Solitaire, I'm sure you would fucking love this.
It seems more like a bunch of. Remember how, like, when you were growing up and you didn't know about all these board games because they didn't all exist?
Yeah.
So you just had like a grandma or someone that taught you like Gin Rummy and like 9 ways to play Gin Rummy.
Right.
This just sounds like a bunch of different cards. It doesn't sound like they're all solitaire. It sounds like
another
just a bunch
fun
of
thing
card
about
games.
it is in the description of the games before you select them, it tells you if you could play the game in real life, and if you did, how many cards you would need to do so. Like, it'll say, like,
Wow,
this
they put a
one
lot
is
of effort into this.
unplayable because you would need a board. And then with this one, it's like, yes, you could play it, but you would need 512 cards split up between 8 suits. Like, which is really, really cool. I don't know. There's 30 games in here, and I was like, this fucking cool, man. There's one that's like, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like Schrodinger's Solitaire. It's called, what's it called? Tabula Rasa. It's called Tabula Rasa Solitaire, and all of the cards start with no value.
Just blank.
And you begin just moving them around. And as you begin moving them around, values begin to populate. And then they will populate like based off of where you moved them before they've revealed themselves. So if you stack 2 on top of each other, they'll come into the game as 2 numbers that could be stacked on top of one another.
So it's,
cool.
Gosh, it's almost like they could have just made this Balatro and had all those things happen through modifiers. And instead, they just said, "No, it's gonna make 50 different."
Let me
games.
tell you this: where in one leg that it has up on Balatro, Indie Game of the Year or whatever Game of the Year contender, is that every version of Solitaire and the menu has a different soundtrack, and they all kick ass, bro.
Damn.
They all are really, really fucking good. Like,
damn, they put in work
the
on
music
this
is
game.
by Hailstorm, like that got the aforementioned creator. It is so good, bro. Yeah,
Not so bad.
I didn't download one to. I should have downloaded one to play it here, but you'll have to take my word for it, viewer and listener, and you guys. And yeah, the fact that every single one has a different thing to add to the vibe of whatever's going on, I was like, this is, hey man, this is fucking cool for $8 as well.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, go buy this, man. If you liked Baba Is You, there's a bunch of Baba Is You themed ones, and it's like little assets are everywhere. So yeah, pretty fucking cool. That's A Solitaire Mystery on Steam.
And that's my wish list, dude. That's good.
Yeah,
That
so
music-
I thought
those
that
are-
was going to be the crappier of the two,
I
just
know,
because the
right?
name,
Yeah.
like the name and
No.
description said 50 ways to play solitaire. Like, that sounds terrible.
Yeah. It was really cool. I think the
That is
Eldritch
neat.
Invasion was my favorite one, the one where you're killing the monsters. Buck, what Steam games did you play for us?
Well, GDQ was this past week, SGDQ, and I was inspired because I watched. This was hilarious. You got to watch the VOD of this back, Mac. You will love it. It was a speed run of Sega Bass Fishing,
Hell
the
yeah.
arcade version. I'm sorry, the Dreamcast version using the Dreamcast fishing rod controller. And
I
these
just like to imagine a guy just like
it gets
just
better.
like frantically.
So yes, it's on extreme. So he was, but these 4 dudes showed up wearing like Budweiser shirts
Hell
and
yeah.
caps, and they were
Cool.
in character the whole time. And they're like, Bubba, you ready to get some fish? We're gonna get some fish. All right. And he starts to do it, and he's like, it does this mini game part within that game where you lift the rod up, and it says rod up, and they're like, rod up, Bubba, rod up. You know, like they're yelling. Yeah. it was so I was inspired by that when I went to go look at the list when I knew we were doing this episode, and I tried out Wombat Brawler's brand new idler sorta cast and chill.
This game looks so beautiful.
This game is a pixel Bob Ross painting.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. That's the spot on.
With an interactive fishing game in the middle there. It's literally just you and your dog and the ambiance of nature
And a happy little tree.
pixel fishing. There's no stress. I don't normally like those fishing games. One, I don't really like fishing, but two, like when it's like a challenge or when it's like you got to do certain things. Even like Monster Hunter, it was like, fuck, I have to get this particular fish of this size and it's a challenge, and then put me on a timer, and now I'm just frustrated.
Dude, same.
This is like the polar
How is the fishing mechanics in this?
opposite
How
of
do they
it.
work?
Yeah.
It's
I'm
extremely
curious about
simple.
that.
It's literally like push and hold the button to cast it further. It goes down, and so a lot of times, like if you're trying to catch a certain fish or you see a big one, you cast it out, and you overcast to get to the big one. So I'll catch a smaller fish, and then I'll cast it halfway next time to try and get the little fish.
Mm-hmm.
You get money for getting fish, getting new fish, different types of fish. There's an angler dude that speaks in Tom Nook Animal Crossing Ease.
I love that.
And you buy different lures. So if you're looking for a particular fish, you can go with a certain lure and you can get those fish. But at the core of it, it is literally just I got to do some work I need a 5-minute break. Fishy, 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 fishy. Like
Good. I seen that on Steam the past week, and I was like, I don't like fishing games, so I was scared, like you said.
I couldn't pay attention at all to the game at a certain point when I was working, so I found a guy that had put up a YouTube video of it with no commentary, like a 6-hour video of him
Brilliant.
playing this game, and it was like, this is even better.
It's like public access television fishing shows.
It was
like
just like that. It was just background noise that was like very chill and calm. Like I like to listen to those things when I go to sleep too, like the really like ambiance and sounds and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
okay,
It, like
but
it
like
scratched. It's
this
that
game looks gorgeous.
It
Like I'm a
really- yeah.
big fan of pixel art. If you guys
Yeah.
watch the show, and like this looks amazing.
Yeah, you know me. I love that kind of stuff too.
It's just so detailed. It's
but
beautiful,
like,
man.
right? It's a Bob Ross. It's
It
an
really
interactive
is.
Bob Ross
Yeah.
painting.
Oh yeah, the landscapes are absolutely 110% like
Spectacular.
pine trees with snow on top. That shit is
Yeah.
Bob Ross
is
to
funny
a T, yo.
We've been playing a bunch of card games lately because of Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy, and I bought, because they have Final Fantasy stuff, I bought a Final Fantasy playmat of Kane because I had to. After I ordered that, I realized they also sell official Bob Ross playmats, deck boxes, and
Shut
sleeves.
the fuck up.
Ultra
That is
Pro.
amazing.
Ultra Pro. You can
Makes
buy
them.
a playmat or a card sleeve or a deck box with official Bob Ross stuff on it.
Just happy accidents.
These are very
Wow.
happy accidents. Yeah,
Well, good. I'm glad that game is good. It's not that expensive either.
that's like
I saw.
$15,
I
think.
watched like that in the trailer. A guy catches fish, and then there's a button to pet the dog. And the dog
Right.
smiles and gives you a little heart.
Yeah,
and I was
your
like,
dog
now
rides in
that's
front of the
shit
boat.
10 out of 10 right there.
Yeah,
That's a
pickle.
10 out of 10
Goofy
game.
dog. Yeah. My next game is the polar opposite of
But
this
an
game.
incredibly interesting looking game that
It
I
is.
almost played as well.
I played. You should play. It's pretty cool. This game
on
is
our
only like
Steam.
$5. And I should mention too that Cast and Chill, I'm pretty sure this is their first game ever. Wombat Brawler's first game ever.
Oh my gosh!
I
Wow.
also believe, because when I checked up on Steam, I could not find anything else from that developer. And also, seemingly first game ever, and I think by a single developer, by Monopixel Games. Last Report.
Bro, Raph, do you know what this game is?
No, let me take a look at this now.
Oh,
I've seen this.
I wasn't going to be
love it. It
I
looks
wasn't going to
like
be
you would
surprised if
fucking
Raph
love
had
it.
found this and played
Yeah.
this, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I already played that one," but it is pretty new. So
Oh, this looks really cool.
Oh,
This looks right up my
describe it.
alley.
this game is. What if you were playing Papers, Please, but you were a park ranger instead of a border patrol? It's gorgeous pixel art. It takes place on a stormy night at a park ranger cabin, like station, and you're a park ranger in there. And your job is to go through the reports for the last couple of weeks, whatever else, from the security cameras around the park that you work in. And what you normally do, just like Papers, Please, is you're supposed to report violations and inconsistencies. I actually played the demo first, And I bought the game, and I noticed there were quite a bit of differences between the demo and the game. So I wonder if they just like kept updating the game before it released, and the demo stayed in an older version. And so basically what it is, you're looking at a picture, and it's like it gives you a little guidebook to read of here's the rules in the park. You can't fish in these areas. You can't swim in these areas. You can't do this. No fires. Then not in a fire pit. No parking for more than 20, blah, blah, all the rules that they give you.
Right.
And you get the thing, and you go, okay, it's a picture of this fire, and it mentions that it's, off wherever else, which is not where the fire pits are located. So you report it for illegal fire, right? So it's got reported. So it's basically like Papers, Please, where they either report it correctly and you get a thumbs up, or you miss something and you get a thumbs down. It goes against you. But other things start to happen where it'll say besides illegal activity of sorts, fishing, hunting, fires, it'll also have an option that says the photo does not match the description of the like it says illegal fire and then the picture of a parked car. Pretty self-explanatory, right?
Right.
And then the other one is just like there's an error in the description, or like there's other reasons that you can report these things. The problem is it really quickly starts to take a very fucking dark turn. Like this turns into a horror movie really fast.
Cool.
With pixel art.
That was good because I was watching the trailer and I was like, I hope there's not too much paper pushing. I would like it to become a horror game.
It looks like the trailer got scary.
I actually wish there was a little more paper pushing because the game is not super long. I beat it with a bad ending because I only had like 70% correct. It was like my first or second playthrough, and I was just figuring out where to report things. One of the things you can report is that the picture is too old, and I'm like, what constitutes as too old? Like they tell me the date. If you go back and read the instruction manual in the game, it'll tell you anything older than 2 weeks is too old. So prior to the 10th of this month, it's too old. File it under pictures too old. And so I got a few wrong because I didn't know what that was too. But like you go from illegal fires and whatnot to like a dismembered deer, which is kind of, and it's all presented in pixel art, then to dismembered corpses. Yeah. And then you start to like, there's a corpse, and you have to, whenever you see the thing, you bring it up on the screen, then you have to drag it to computer, your little computer, and then you have to open your little Windows 3.1, and you have to bring it up, and you have to report it. And like, you start to do things where it's like, there's 4 hanged bodies, and you're like, the creature watches on of the death, and you're reading, and you're like, oh my God, well, that is accurate. So you put it on the computer, and you go to file it, and now the creature's gone from the photo. You're like, now I have to report it because it's an inaccurate photo. I know there's other endings in there because there's all these hidden and locked and corrupted files in the PC, and I didn't get access to any of them. And even the ending I got, it gave me a choice at the end, and I chose obviously one and didn't get to see the other, and shit happened. I mean, dude, there's just one of the creepy things that happens there's a whole lot is you're behind the desk in pixel art style, just like Papers, Please, pretty much. And anybody that comes in walks through the door, you open the door for them, and it's raining, thundering, lightning outside. You can go to the computer and check different stations for the other rangers to help them do stuff. There's a paper shredder so that if something's like really messed up, you can just shred it and don't put it in the computer, and that's where it change a lot. But you have this view of the cabin door and a window, kind of like an Inscription, and so you can see out. And at one point, you bring up a report, and the report blocks like a third of your screen on purpose to fuck with you, right? Yeah. Because there's more. This game jump scared me more than once. And you bring this up, and you put the thing up, and you drag it over to the computer. If you go really fast like I did, you drag the computer and click to the computer, and you're in the computer screen, and it takes up like 99% of the screen, you just hear thump, thump, thump. Thump, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, people have knocked on the door before, and your radio's gone off, whatever, and you're like, I don't fucking know. What is that? You finish the thing, you close it out, and if you're looking at the window, you just see this silhouette of a person from like the shoulder up, and they're slamming their head against the glass. Like that, the noise is them slamming their head against the glass.
Gnarly, dude.
And cool. Like, are they gonna try and come in? And if you're ballsy enough to like open the door, what happens? Kind of thing.
Badass game.
It's not a super long game, but I think it's one of those games where you're meant to play it like 4 or 5 times and try and get more stuff. I would not be surprised, because when I finished the game, it wouldn't let me continue, just new game. I would not be surprised if this is the kind of game that if I new gamed it 2 or 3 times, that it would like pretend like I was in a paradox loop or something and like reference back to a previous. I would not be surprised if it started to do that at some point. So I definitely need to spend some more time on it.
It's only $4.
It's like
Ooh,
it's on sale for like
Yeah.
it's normally only like $5 if you guys don't catch it before the end of the sale. It's like $4. So
Hell yeah.
and then
Pixel
I played
art horror.
with Raph. I played Don't Tell Mom I Fed My Stepsister. Just kidding. That's another porn game, I'm sure. Yep, it is.
Raph, speaking of yourself, what hot steams did you dip into this week?
I got a couple of cool things here, man. So there was one that you recommended to me that I did play that didn't quite make the cut for this. That No, I'm Not Human game that was super cool. Another really cool little horror game, but I decided to go with a couple of weird ones here. This one is called Primordialis. This first game that I played, and this was made by two dudes, Kyler Natividad and Keith Samut, and it's published by Kyler Natividad. This game came out on last month, July 2nd. It's a physics-based roguelike fish builder. Yeah, you heard that
I'm
right.
sorry?
A physics-based roguelike fish builder.
Could you please explain to me what a fish builder is?
So you
before we get on to
play-
the other parts of the sentence.
You play as a little primordial fish, right? You start off as a
like
very
Evo.
what's up?
There's a Super Nintendo game that's like a $200 game called
Yes.
Evo.
Okay. Yes, I think I've heard of this. Yes, it is
And you
kind of very
start as
similar to that.
a fish.
More so, actually,
Tadpole.
what I thought this reminded me of. If you ever played Spore, the cell
Yes.
phase of Spore is what this
Same.
is basically. You start off as a little primordial fish, and you have to swim around, and you grab little cells that can become part of you. And the way that you level up, as you level up, you get more of these biomass that becomes available to you, and you can add these cells to yourself. You have to kill other fish, collect their biomass, you get bigger, so on and so forth, rinse and repeat. But yeah, you're just swimming around. The cool thing is all these different cells that you can get, man. You get these basic cells. They're kind of categorized as such. You have the basic ones that are not much. They're just body mass, right? You can use them to protect your organs or whatnot. You have seeker cells, which are essentially eyes. What these do is that they make it easier for you if you're using the mouse to kind of navigate. They make it easier for your little guy to follow the mouse more maneuverably, I guess.
Okay.
awesome.
There's spiky cells, which are essentially defensive weapons, or they can be used kind of offensively as well. You set them up around your body, and then you just run into things, and it starts to tear them up and kill them. And then you have these heart cells. These heart cells are kind of they increase the amount of biomass. The game is actually weirdly scientific and complicated. It seems very simple at first, but it gets really complicated. I think these guys might have been bio students that were I want to make a game, and they made a game about fucking evolution essentially.
Right.
But yeah, dude, it was really cool. I had a really good time with it. At first it was difficult. It's unapologetically difficult. You will get swarmed by things and just torn up and then die and then start over. You'll not know what the hell you're doing at first, but after playing it for a little bit, you start to kind of get the hang of it. And you start making your own little freaky fish, man. And I loved my little freaky fish. I'm going to get back into it and play it later. It was a lot of fun. It really does remind me of the best parts of Spore. It's a really neat little game. And honestly, where it's at the moment, I would give it a 6 to 7 out of 10 for me, honestly. I would definitely buy the game itself. If it was maybe a little bit cheaper where it's at right now, I think it's maybe $14, $15 or something like that. But
was it your favorite fish building game?
It's not my favorite fish building game, Buck. Surprisingly enough. Yeah, surprisingly enough.
I like a fish raising game, Seaman.
Did you remember? I don't know if you remember, but Leonard Nimoy was the voice of the Seaman.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit, that's wild. But you know what though? I played another game, and this one, holy hell, this one actually did stick with me, and I think I am gonna definitely buy this one. So this one is called Mushroom Musume. And this one is developed and published by Mortally Moonstruck Games. This came out on June 20th of this year. And the genre it's a text-based fantasy / fairy tale life sim. Right?
Ooh.
The concept being, it's a text-based game with this cute sort of quadrochrome anime sort of art style.
Yeah.
And you are, at first, playing as a lonely recluse that lives in the woods. And this recluse desperately wants a child. One day, you are visited by a witch in the woods. And the witch offers you an opportunity to have a child. She says she's going to grow one for you and gives you a few choices as to like what type of dirt you want. A few choices of like a couple of other things here and there that kind of will influence what this little creature that you develop will be like. And then she shows you your little mushroom creature. And then for the next few minutes of gameplay, you then have to make decisions as a parent that will influence the early life of your little mushroom character. You have to manage 3 stats, those being nutrients, finances, and stamina.
Finances.
Yeah, dude, this game is awesome. All right, like you just check it out. I think you really like it. But once your mushroom daughter is old enough, she suddenly decides that she must strike out into the world.
Once your mushroom daughter is old enough.
Yes, when she grows up, she suddenly decides that she must start her own life as a little mushroom girl, and then you suddenly take over the story of her as she progresses through her life. And you must make decisions for her. It was really cool. The demo, man, I was surprised, dude. It's a simple looking game. It seems very simple at first. It's just like a storybook. But then you realize that there's a lot more depth, and when you realize that there's also multiple playthroughs that you have to get through to get different endings, and then they all connect too. And I say story because it really does feel like you're reading a fairy tale, or almost like a choose your own adventure fairy tale. With like the dungeon master being the game. It actually reminds me a lot of a tabletop game called Beyond the Wall. Beyond the Wall uses this sort of like very interesting character creation system where you answer questions at the table with your friends about the life of your character growing up, and that influences the stats of the character. The same thing with this game. Dude, the art style of it looks really gorgeous. It's very charming with the music too. The music is incredibly charming, and at times it gets kind of eerie. Music. And that's kind of getting into the more like fae, witchcraft sort of fairy tale side of it, is that this game is cute, but it's also a little bit eerie. There's this like ever-present sense of like dread and unknowability that happens. Like even the witch itself, like there's at one point that the witch shows up one day and he's like, oh, there's just one matter, and it's the matter of my payment. And you're presented with like 5 options, and those options are like pay with money now, offer to pay a sum later, pay with blood, pay with it's like a bunch of different things, and it's very vague, and so you never know what the actual bargain is going to be. There's this sort of like otherworldly hostility that's kind of hidden under everything, which I think is really cool, and it's extremely my shit. I played through the demo. I actually got one of the endings. I got the Thief's Apprentice ending, because I helped a thief that broke into my house. I let them free and I didn't kill them, but then they became my friend, trained me in lockpicking, and then I became a thief's apprentice.
Wow.
The thing that blew my mind, okay? All right, so this is one of the endings that I got in the demo, and the game then at the end of the game, at the end of the demo, it tells you these are all the things that are going to be in the game now. It told me that there are in fact 30 different endings in the demo alone.
Wow. Shit.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, dude, when I found that out, I was like, oh shit, there's a lot more to this than I thought there was going to be, and I didn't think I would like this cute little game about raising a little mushroom girl. I thought it would be kind of stupid, but dude, this is an 8 out of 10 for sure for me. Like, I'm buying this game at some point, maybe next week. Like, it looks sick.
Mix all these genres together, and it just made me think like we need to just do an episode where we just come up with like mixing random genres and come up with a game.
Oh yeah, like a weird
yeah, like it's a turn-based cooking simulator rhythm
cooking
game.
I like that. I think that is enough for our hot steam. It's time to come back to reality, gentlemen, where we have to play on our consoles. Hey, we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we're gonna do our what else you got and head on out of here. See you on the other side. Gentlemen, what else have you got for me? The segment of our show where we can bring anything to the table, be it video game or otherwise. This week, I played more video games. Yay! I played a game called 9 Kings, developed by Sad Socket, published by Hooded Horse and Instinct, 2 different companies. May 23rd of this year, this game came out. It's a rogue-like kingdom building game. Where you use cards.
I'm telling you, an episode where we just mixed 3 or 4 genres together. And...
Yeah, it's real good. It's still in early access. It's it is like it's turn-based, I guess, in the fact that it's played like in rounds, but you play as a kingdom over the span of years, aka each turn is like a year. So you start out with just like your castle card in your hand plus 2 other cards. You just have a hand of 3, and that's it. And basically every time you draw down to 2 cards, your kingdom goes to war, and like that's a year. So there are times when you can somehow manage to have more than 3 cards, so that you can play 2 cards in a turn. But for most of the time, most turns involve playing 1 card and then doing a battle, quote unquote. So there's like 9 different kings, obviously, that you can pick from. I only have like 2 unlocked right now. It's the King of Progress and the King of Nothing, which is really cool.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah, but so yeah, you get like a little board that you start with, and it's got a bunch of blank slots on it, and like some cards that you can play are like pieces of land, like a forest or a farm or a blacksmith like shop or whatever. And then some cards that you can play are like units, so it'll be like regular foot soldiers or paladins or archers or whatever, and you basically roguelike deck builder shit, where it's just like if you put these guys next to a forest, they increase the number of guys in their unit every year, and then like, oh, if you put guys next to the blacksmith every 2 years, their power increases by this and that, and then you've got these like units that auto attack, and then your main castle.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Every time you play a card of a similar type on top of itself, it levels up, and every tile can go up to like level 3. And so it's just a fun-ass roguelike card game, which if you watch the show, you know I love myself a good-ass deck-building roguelike game.
Yeah, deck builders are fun.
And this is, I'm trying to think as far as ones that have boards, because it's like, You actually get to watch the little battles that happen. Like you'll have like armies accumulated from the cards that you play, and then when the year goes by, they walk out onto a little battlefield, and they're very, 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 very tiny, and they'll like be approached by an army of other tiny dudes, and you watch them like like duke it out on the thing. It's pretty fun. It's very satisfying between each round. Every time you win a fight, you get like you get a piece of loot, which is just a card. And you're fighting the other kings, so the loot that you get will be from their decks. So you can add shit from their decks like into your lands. So like there's a guy called like the King of Progress, and he's got like robots and shit in his deck. And so I was like the guy who's got like normal knights and all like a normal like archers and shit, but then also I had like a giant tank, because I just like took it from a guy after beating him. Yeah. So
we like to say the word commandeered.
Yes, you're right. I repurposed it. But yeah, it's pretty dang cool. I finished a run at one point, and it said like, thanks for playing. Keep in mind, if you keep playing, like there might be bugs in here because this is just early access, so don't get mad at us. So I don't know when it's gonna fully come out.
That's cool.
But yeah, 9 Kings on Steam. Go check it out. It's a good game. Buck, what else have you got for us, sir?
I'm not going to lie, with how addicted me and Venny are to this, I just had to at least mention that we have been playing a metric crap ton of Uma Musume, the horse girl racing.
I gotta say, I tried and I couldn't.
It's a mobile game. There's a lot of menu vomit.
Yeah.
But vodka and El Condor Pasa for the win. We'll go into that more in the future.
Okay.
Me and the boy finished the X-Men Lego, the X-Mansion, the Xavier's Institute of Higher Learning. It is pretty freaking awesome. It's got I gave Mac a picture to post of ours there, but you guys can see too. It's got a danger room, and it's got Wolverine's bedroom complete with the photo of Jean Grey and Cyclops.
No way.
The Lego versions
Really?
of Jean Grey and Cyclops. Comes with really cool minis. I mean, comes with Professor X in his hover chair. Comes with Gambit, Iceman, Bishop, like some pretty neat different
Kick-ass Marvel heroes.
guys that are in there. Yeah, ones that you wouldn't normally see in like a Lego set, right?
Yeah.
But it was fun. We put it all together, and of course I finished it, and we're like, oh, good. We won't have to do one for a while because there's nothing else that I want to come out. They just announced a Transformers Soundwave. That's the same height as my Optimus Prime that I have.
cool, dude.
And then someone else
Nice.
said,
Buck
yeah, they're
loves
making
himself
I
a
know.
sound wave. Yeah.
And then someone else, yeah, he's one of my favorites. And then someone else that I know said, yeah, I heard that they're making a Goonies playset too. And I'm like,
What?
Ooh.
stop making Lego
Is it gonna be
sets.
the
that I'm
pirate
like-
ship? It's got to be the pirate ship.
It
right?
could be any of
I
those.
can
It could be a
imagine,
lot
yeah,
of
I
different things. It could be the rundown Italian part. It could be Mikey's front yard, and I would buy it. All right, I hate you, Lego, but I love you.
Ooh, but it could be his house. That would be
Yeah.
a good one.
really
I
could
visited
be.
his house. I visited Mikey's house when I was in Oregon.
How did
couple years
Lego
ago.
get so dang cool, man? Like they're just so good at doing it. Like they when they put the picture of Jean Grey and the thing, they're in on the joke. How do they know?
Absolutely.
How are they so cool?
Because people like our age work at those companies now,
Yeah,
and they put
right.
them on the projects, and they know what's going on. They
I
get
gotta
it.
ask:
They're so
is
good
the
at it.
picture of Jean Grey and the picture of Cyclops in the form of Lego people, or is it?
oh
Yes!
man, that's good.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, it's magical.
Eagle to Chief. Yeah, we got him. Yeah, we got
Yeah.
him.
It's-
They're in
it's
Lego
perfect.
form.
Got it
Yep.
in the bag.
It's funny too because they we were talking about this as well in our car ride. We just had a guys' weekend, and we were talking about how with this Magic Final Fantasy set, and like Wizards just needs to Fortnite Magic. I'm sorry, but if they kept licensing nerdy things that we all
Oh,
like,
yes.
like we made the joke about how our friend would go broke if they made a Dragon Ball Final Fantasy. I mean, a Magic the Gathering set.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
right.
God, you're
Yeah?
so
It's like, yeah, but
right.
Bandai
about
this, that, and it's like our one friend in particular would go broke if that set came out. Just him buying all the cards.
That's
if they just
such a good idea.
if they stopped doing this secret lair crap and put half the effort they did into the Final Fantasy set into just once or twice a year doing a licensed set like Dead by Daylight and Fortnite prints money with, just saying. Anyway, speaking of card games though, the Gundam card game came out.
Oh, nice.
Oh, like officially.
The official Gundam card. These are not the demo decks that I played. These are the official
Right.
decks. This is the actual Xeon sleeve that I got. I got the Xeon
Whoa,
sleeve. I got the
beautiful.
Xeon. I got all 4 of the sets, but 2 of them came already. The Xeon and the Federation one. I got some of the Xeon sleeves. Got some cool like special promo cards, like this super foily Charzaku. Not only
Beautiful.
this is picture time, there, Spotify kids. Put on your Spotify video. Not only is it foil, but like all the etchings around it, like it's embossed too.
Oh, that's nice.
Like it's
Ooh,
these cards are way thicker than Magic cards. It's interesting. They're like
really?
thicker and
How's
heavier.
the smell? The same or better?
No, they must use a different printer. It doesn't smell the
I'm
same.
serious. If you never
I
played
know,
Magic,
I know.
okay, yeah.
I
No,
know.
I-
I got a stack.
I
of
went to
Magic
buy
cards.
Magic
That's-
cards. We have a local card shop here in town, by the way, Mac, that's only been around for a little bit here that I can go to.
Oh,
That's where I got
nice.
these from. And I went there with Princess M with my wife, and I bought some Final Fantasy cards in one of the starter boxes. And the nice guy at the shop was like, "You gonna rip some of them here?" Because they like that kind of thing, in case you get something rare, they get you to trade it in, whatever.
Ooh, yeah,
And I was like,
yeah,
"No, I'll rip Mahone. That's okay." And the wife breaks in, goes, "Yeah, he's weird. He likes to smell the packs." And all the guys that work at the card shop were like, "Well, I mean, the ink does smell really good." Like that backfired on her so bad. Like
So
they all
funny.
do it too. They all
Well, you
inks.
see, ma'am, the thing about card smell is
it's
I
really
like
great. If they can make it into a
It
candle, we would
smells
be
good.
millionaires.
Oh my
So,
God.
it does.
You guys have
So
got to come
funny.
play it. This Gundam card game is a lot of
Yes.
fun.
Yeah, I would like. You have 2 decks.
I have 2, and I have the other 2 on the way. There's a
Perfect.
Xeon one, a Neo Xeon. There's a Earth Federation one. There's a Gundam Wing one, and the 4th one is Gundam Seed.
Oh, I never really got into Gundam Seed, but those
That's the
other
only one I haven't
3
watched much
fucking
either.
sign me the fuck up.
Yes, and then
That's
they're doing
badass.
an Iron Blooded Orphans set in the fall.
Ooh-wee. Nice. Raph, what else have you got for us this week, sir?
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. All I've played all week is fucking Night Rain.
Oh yeah, dude.
Atta
And,
boy.
So good.
Got 2 things here, man. Well, one big thing. Yeah.
I was gone. What happened?
I finally have beaten Dark Drift Knight.
Which
and
one?
yeah,
The Fulgore?
Fulgore, yeah.
Oh, perfect.
And I did so. It was the most epic thing ever. Like the whole thing was just fucking amazing. It was the perfect storm of 2 good players with me, and I was playing as Guardian. I don't remember what the other 2 were. I think one of them was Executor. The other one might have been I don't remember. But,
Executor.
Yeah.
I could look in your
from
history
Pokemon.
yeah, the Pokemon. Yeah, dude, we yes, the Pokemon.
Executor.
Yeah, dude, we got to level 15. The fight when we finally got to this thing, we started doing it. It was intense, man. I was doing it with the headphones in. The music for that fight is incredible.
Yeah.
I cannot
all the
overstate. Dude,
All the
fight was-
Everdark bosses have different tracks. They
It wasn't the
recorded
Everdark one. This
extra-
was, mind you, I was still stuck on the OG one.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yeah. This is in my progress to. I did try fighting the Everdark one and did not beat him, but
I've got like
this
7
is
clears on it.
still in my progress of trying to get past the actual bosses, right? So, dude, the fight itself was intense. I cannot overstate how good it feels to tank hits from Fulgore with the Guardian and just like, and just be like, bitch, I can take it. Yeah, dude, it was amazing, man. And then at some point, I locked in. The music and the battle had finally reached like a fever pitch. And then I realized, I'm like, that bastard's health is pretty low. So I just popped my ulti, landed right on him, and my ulti just killed him, dude. Goes down. And yeah, dude, he was down for the count. I was so fucking happy. And like in my notes, I was like, now it's time to just beat Libra finally. But I beat him an hour ago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, dude.
Such a pain in the ass boss.
Such a pain in the ass. I beat him with
I am not
Guardian.
looking forward to Everdark Libra. He is
Oh my.
unless you have the perfect set of like holy weapons going into him, he is a mean man.
It was the only reason we beat him was because I think we were max level again. Like I got to max level
And holy weapons probably.
Yeah, we had holy.
Makes a
I
huge
had a lot
difference.
of really kick ass spells. I was playing as Recluse on that one.
Nice.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. It was amazing. I just have
Sometimes
to
it
beat
just
the night
comes together.
aspect now.
That's
What's
part
up?
of the fun, right? That sometimes it just comes together.
It did. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I had
Night
a couple of
aspect-
games.
Sorry.
Yeah, I had a couple of games before that didn't come together, and then that it just the cards fell in, and yeah.
Night
everything just-
aspect
yeah.
is nothing compared to Libra and Libra and Fulgore are the Dark Drift Knight are the 2 hardest bosses in that game. Besides Tricephalos, they are the 2 hardest
Yeah.
bosses in that game, hands down. The Night Lord is probably like 5th hardest out of 8. Like the bugs aren't that bad. Augur's not that bad. Gaping Jaw regular is not that bad. And the boss is probably easier than Gaping Jaw.
I'm gonna wait to do the night aspect because I want to get all of the remembrances done. I actually also earlier I completed all of Guardian's remembrances, so I got the special remembrance skin for him, and I bought the
Nice.
crow
Cool.
skin too. I ended up getting
Oh,
the
I
crow
love
skin
that
for him as
one.
well.
You don't
so
have
I
to really
all the
wait because you're
skins.
going to end up getting multiple clears of that last boss. So
Right,
wouldn't stress
I
yourself
guess
over it.
You can get like I wasn't sure how that works, so I guess obviously you'd get different endings depending on who you're playing with to
Only-
complete the.
So everyone there's only one main ending in the game, but
Okay.
there are 3 characters that have alternate endings.
I see. Okay.
So they all have kind of like sort of an ending in just one thing, one splash thing, and then the ending, the post credits is the same for everybody. But there's 3 characters that have really neat little alternate stories because within the Darkhold there's an actual like hero, like someone that's the big hero, and there's someone
Yeah.
else who's a traitor, and it's a cool little story going on there.
I didn't realize that there was a twist in this game as
Yeah.
to like certain characters being related. I was like, holy shit, that blew my mind. Yeah,
Yeah, working together. I think I'm still enjoying that game. It's so much fun.
It's game of the year.
yeah
They
absolutely.
cycled.
Yeah.
They cycled Dark Drift Knight and Gaping Jaw back in this week as the Everdarks through the rest of the part of this week. And right before I left for Guys Weekend, I hadn't played Gaping Jaw in 2 weeks, and I got a clear my first run with him. It's like,
You guys
what?
shut the fuck up. We can play it right now. You just stop. You just stop talking. If you
Dude, like I don't see myself playing anything else for a while. And then on top of that, there's a DLC coming out. So whatever, we won't talk about that.
I'm glad
now,
we
but
did
yeah.
Hot Steam this week
Yeah.
because it made me play some other games.
something
Something
else.
else, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
too. I agree. But I do want to get back to it. So that does it for this week's episode of the Game Treasure Podcast. You have reached the end, dear listener or watcher. It is now safe to go alone. Don't take this. Or, I don't know. Yeah, do us a huge favor. Like and subscribe if you haven't. And tell your friends. That would be super toy if you did that. If you are just listening on Spotify, don't forget, like Buck said, you can take it out of your pocket and watch it. Spotify loves that when you do that. And more importantly, you can go to our YouTube where you can watch us do streams as well with your eyeballs. I've been playing my
I have
Baldur's
eyeballs.
Gate Dark Urge. That's been super fun because I'm all the way in Baldur's Gate now and crazy stuff's been happening. Raph's been doing his stuff on Sundays pretty religiously. He's been playing Peak. He's been playing Repo. All sorts of funny / scary stuff. But yeah, you can reach out to us via email with any questions, comments, or games that you want us to play at gametreasurepodcast@gmail.com. Head on over to our merch store and our Patreon at our Linktree /the GTP. The 5th episode of UFO 50 is finally out, so the UFO
Nice.
50 series is almost complete. If you watch that, you'd know what I'm talking about when I say almost complete, but I won't tell you, normies. Again,
So get
that's-
on Patreon, huh?
Yeah, Linktree
Come on.
/
You got
the
$5.
GTP. We want to thank Crunkwitch for the use of our theme song, Clash of the Droids. You can find them on Apple Music, Spotify, and anywhere you can find music on the internet, I believe. And of course, last but not least, we would like to thank RetroGameTreasure.com. Owned and operated by the Megabuck himself, Retro Game Treasure is a subscription service that takes the hassle out of collecting retro video games. Not something that you can easily find at Walmart or Publix. You have to go hunt for these types of things. But no, you don't. Not anymore. No more hunting, no more guessing, no more wasted time. Instead, Retro Game Treasure subscribers select from a wide range of consoles and gaming genres to collect from, and then those games come to your house every single month to be added to your collection. You do not have to return them. Buck's helping you grow your PS1 collection, your N64, your Sega Genesis collection. Hey, he even keeps tracks of the games that he sends you and the ones that you already have so that you never get a repeat game. Want to start collecting a new console? They make that easy as well because they sell consoles. They have their very own console shop where you can buy refurbished and new consoles so that you can start collecting those new consoles with a jolt, right? Instead of having to trickle in N64 games, don't worry, Buck has them. He'll start sending them to you, baby. So go now to www.retrogametreasure.com and start collecting retro video games the easy way. Buck, you have your list of subscribers this week.
That's right. You're missing out. Join all these folks. This week we welcome Kyle Spooner, Sean Lorette, Christopher Jennings, Arden Hess, Crystal Tomlin, Terry Sanders, Jonathan Isenminger, Aiden Burnett, Eric Ocampo, Kyle Betzweiser, Jared Offord, Justin Dick Teffler, Ryan Crow, Evan Langers, Matthew Jennings, Braden Gerson, Alex Olvieri, and Jesus Pena.
Thank you all so much for subscribing. It means a lot, and it really, really helps. But until next week, my name is Max Stein, and I love the Game Treasure Podcast. It's so bad.
It's so bad.